then I had to say like sorry to my mom real quick because it was actually the best falafel I've ever had.
It came to our table piping hot. It was ooey gooey. It was crunchy.
I'm a spicy girl. I like my food spicy.
Okay. The
Holy moly fried ravioli.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by the following sponsors whom we gratefully acknowledge for their steadfast support during these uncertain times.
At Redwood Credit Union, we help people achieve their financial goals together, offering customized full-service personal and business banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Redwood Credit Union.
Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com.
It's the national recognition for healthcare equality. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests and each one recommends one of their favorite spots and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week our 3 guests have one thing in common. They don't eat meat. Executive Assistant Danielle Pace organizes a visit to her spot for plant-based Filipino classics in South San Francisco. And student Shirin Bansal is all about sharing knowledge. She takes us to Sunnyvale for her favorite Israeli street food eatery. But first, software engineer Satya Patel calculates the benefits of a visit to his San Francisco Mission District destination. It's an Indian place where he can always find a vegetarian dish or 2, but also provides options for his carnivore friends. This is Curry Up Now.
We are not your mom's food, we're not your grandmom's food. This is Indian food done curry up now way. So since we started on a food truck, the food was very food truck friendly to begin with. Burritos, quesadillas, tacos, sexy fries, which is just like poutine. We wanted to do Indian food in a different way. We wanted to disrupt how Indian food is done in the US. So it's fun, it's quirky, it's, I call it stoner food sometimes. I call it, it's different. All the dish names, the recipes are stuff that I created with my wife, my family. There's nothing like the Mission. We just love being here. This is home for us because our #1 seller is a chicken tikka masala burrito. And obviously the burrito is as Mission as it gets. So when COVID first hit, first couple of weeks were borderline depressing. But then, we're entrepreneurs, we're restaurateurs, we're resilient people. This is what we do. We're thankful that our guests have just continued to support us. We're still doing some catering. We're feeding hospitals. We have an initiative called Roll It Forward where our customers donated and then we matched meal for meal. So we're donating that to hospitals or even to homeless shelters or even to hospitality workers who don't have a job right now. So yeah, I think we're thriving. That's all I can say.
So when you walk in, it's kind of a cool vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a lot of energy, and I think a lot of it comes from like the art and like the music and all that stuff going on. Super vibrant, super colorful, like all the walls.
Tell me about one of the dishes that you go back for.
Yeah, so the tikka masala burrito is always what I go to. So that burrito is delicious. It has like chickpeas in it and rice and paneer that's super like soft and delicate. Usually like Indian food comes with some sort of carb because the flavors are usually really strong and it needs to be like mellowed up by something. Instead of the normal naan or paratha that they have for like Indian food, they actually use tortilla, which is actually like a more mild, more salty, more mellow flavor that really like plays with the dish and brings out the ingredients in the inside way more as a result.
Talk about your experience, Shirin.
So I really liked Curry Up Now. I had a few dishes that were like standouts and I would definitely go back for.
Okay.
So I would definitely order the kati roll again because there was just like a really thin layer of omelet in there and I really enjoyed that. And something that's unique to Curry Up Now, which you don't usually see in a lot of restaurants, is that they have a vegan option, which really comes in handy for you, Danielle.
Yeah.
They have the plant-powered protein, which is like, I don't know, I think it's made of soy, but I was trying to stay away from like more, cheese-based dishes, so I went with that, and it was such a good choice. It was like a melt-in-your-mouth protein. So I ordered that with the gati roll and then the biryani, and I pretty much got in everything because it was.
Well, tell me about
it was
some
pretty
more of it.
good.
Yeah, right.
It was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
nice.
So I came with a friend, a coworker who also ate meat. So he got the death by tikka masala plate, and he got the chicken. I tried a little bit of the curry, and
Right.
it was pretty good. Yeah, and I would really recommend it. Yeah.
You enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What about you, Danielle?
So I had the Peace Love Vegan, and it's a thali. So it comes with separated dishes accompanied by the roti and the naan. So I have a little bit of OCD, so I don't like my food to mix and match. So it was great to have that to where I can just dip and dab into each little piece.
Do you eat everything, one thing first, the next thing, or do you get to?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
Too old to be picky, but
I have a friend who
hey.
does that, yeah.
But yeah, but just the lentils and the rice, and then also the vegan substitute meat. That was
Yeah.
great. I actually ordered a side of that to go.
So they had a vegan, not only vegetarian friendly, but vegan friendly
Yes.
options as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Okay. And did you have anything else?
Yeah. So for the first time, actually, I tried their appetizer, which was holy moly fried ravioli, which was delicious. It was like incredibly amazing.
Yeah.
But the seasoning on the outside is actually warmer, more spicy, more like delicate. And as a result, like it brings out the flavor of the warm cheese and then the breading, like a lot more as a result. And I really love that.
You
It
just
was
wanted
really
to
good.
order it again. Holy moly fried ravioli.
Yeah.
Everybody
honestly.
say that.
The
Holy moly fried ravioli.
Did you have that?
I did.
Okay.
It was so good. Normally I don't eat dairy or eggs, but I made an exception in this process. So
Yeah.
it came to our table piping hot. It was ooey gooey. It was crunchy. The tikka masala sauce was outstanding. So I would definitely
Spicy?
get that again. No.
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 So are you spice lovers, heat lovers?
I'm a spicy girl. I like my food spicy. Yeah, as long as I have something to cool it down with. So I got the mango lassi, which was, the perfect complement. The food, it wasn't that spicy, but I still enjoyed it a lot because there was a lot of flavor.
It's like a yogurt-based like mango drink, basically. So it's much sweeter than like most other drinks, I would say, but it's also tangy, it's also salty, like it has those other notes in it.
Right.
So it's not just like an overpowering sweetness that just covers the dish.
It helps sort of offset the spice when you get a spicy dish.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And did you have any other dishes? They do have sexy fries.
I ordered the sexy fries. Yeah, so the sexy fries were, I mean, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but the fries did get soggy, so probably wouldn't order them again. Yeah, but I had the deconstructed samosa, had like these tiny little samosas along with the big samosa, and they had the chickpeas and the little salad that they put on it, like the tomatoes, onions, how classic Indian food usually is, and
Right.
it was pretty good. I would probably order it again, yeah.
Do you get that when you go?
I've had it before, yeah. So I actually thought it was too spicy. So I was just like, oh, it's okay, I enjoy it. Yeah. Or I mean, like I got the mango lassi too, which like helped a lot,
Yeah. Yes.
obviously.
Good
Did you have
price.
any desserts?
Yes.
Yes.
I had
You knew I'd get there.
Yes. I had the hot balls on ice, which is essentially the classic Indian dish, gulab jamun, and accompanied with kulfi. I've actually never had those two dishes together. They're usually separate, but it was probably my favorite thing at the restaurant because it was perfect. It was just like super hot, melt in your mouth gulab jamun with the cool kulfi. I did burn my mouth when I ate when I ate a bite of the gulab jamun, but the kulfi helped, and before I know it, it was like gone, and I was like, wait, where did it go? I was like, should we order another one? Because but it was really good. Yeah.
What about you? Did you have any room for dessert?
I had the hot balls on ice. Yes, but the ice cream with the nuts was a good contrast to all the other stuff I had ate. So it cooled my mouth down. Me and my friend fought for the remainder, last little piece. But yes, I did burn my mouth being greedy. But no, it was wonderful.
Do you ever get any dessert when you go, or do you have any room?
I didn't actually.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any room because the food and the portions are like excellent.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is it actually makes me want to go back and get it. Yeah.
The dessert,
Yeah, because the gulab jamun.
That was your
and-
favorite part. You
It
said,
was my
wasn't
favorite part, yeah. Would go
Nice.
back for those hot balls on ice.
Looks like I'm going back for them too.
All right, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
For colorful, well-priced Indian street food, I'd recommend Curry Up Now.
Okay, and Danielle.
For great Indian food with a Bollywood twist and vegan options, try Curry It Now.
Okay, and Shirin.
For a crazy cool menu with the best ambiance, I would check out Curry Up Now.
If you would like to try Curry Up Now, it's located on Valencia at 17th in San Francisco. It's open for lunch and dinner every day, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $15. Shirin spot in Sunnyvale is known for serving sumptuous Israeli Mediterranean street food like falafel, shawarma, and hummus. With menu items for vegans and at a separate counter, choices for meat lovers, this is Falafel Stop.
Hey, how you doing?
Sunnyvale, actually, it's the melting pot of Silicon Valley. It's right in the center, extremely friendly, helpful people, welcoming any sort of new ideas. Falafel came from when I was a kid. I was taught how to do that by an older gentleman. And through the years, I kept that recipe and I added some of my own touches, and that's it. Simplicity is the best ingredient for anything. The secret for the hummus, we use 100% tahina base, which comes from Israel, organic chickpeas, and it's obviously done fresh on a daily basis. And we do about 6 batches per day. We don't do just one big batch on the morning. The pita bread, the dough comes from Israel. We bake it here, and we've been doing it since the day one that we opened up here. And people rave about that. Now it's a different time, so it's all takeouts. We've been blessed with very steady flow of people. And this place keeps really extremely busy. I live in Sunnyvale.
Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.
And obviously the Sunnyvale people are supporting our business just about over 9 years, together with the rest of the Bay Area. And I have nothing but good things to say about Sunnyvale.
Now, how did you discover Falafel Stop?
So I live in the South Bay, so Sunnyvale is very easy for me to go to, and you know, I would always go there for like dinner or lunch with my family. And honestly, this place is a gem. It's probably the best falafel I've ever had, and I'm a vegetarian. I've eaten a lot of falafel. There's a lot of falafel places out there, and what I love about Falafel Stop is that they also have not just falafel, but they also have shawarma, and you can get gyros, and you can also have meat, which is great for vegetarians and meat lovers alike. But the falafel is insanely good. You go up and they make their pitas in-house, which is really unique to
With
Falafel
dough
Stop.
actually that comes in from Israel. It's imported Israeli dough.
That's insane. Yeah. So that's probably why their pitas are so good. Yeah. And their hummus is extremely creamy, and I absolutely love how easy it is. It's almost kind of like pick what you want in your pita kind of style. And I always get the falafel, and I love how crispy it is. And right when you break it, you can see the steam coming out, and it just, when you eat it, it just like melts in your mouth.
What did you two have when you went? Danielle,
So
what did
I
you
had
have?
the falafel salad, which was really outstanding. I liked how you can see them make the falafel. There's this machine off to the side, and it spits out the falafel into a vat of oil. And so it's really fresh. It's crispy but soft on the inside, and it had a lot of flavor to it. And then with the salad, it was like so many different textures and things: pickles, onions, lettuce, tomato, everything just spread out. And I loved how it was separated.
Which is kind of hard for a salad.
Yes, yes.
It's
So I
a
can at
little bit
least
hard for a
see
salad.
what I'm eating, and I enjoyed every last bite.
And what about you, Satya?
So I also had the falafel, and I'm gonna have to say sorry to my mom real quick, because I agree it was actually the best falafel I've ever had.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
It is, yeah. I gotta say sorry again, but yeah, it was honestly the best falafel I've ever had. There's a reason they're Michelin recommended, honestly.
Right.
Their food's really solid. The falafel, I think, was layered perfectly, so that each bite was different. Every time I took a bite, you'd get some layers with a lot of vegetables in it, so a lot of pickles and a lot of sharp onions and stuff like that that really cut through the deep flavors of the hummus and the falafel. So it was really well done for me, honestly.
Did you have anything else?
I had the masha basha. So it's the hummus plate. The hummus, oh my gosh, it's so creamy and velvety. It's you get the hummus in the store and it's in the container. But no, this was soft and creamy, and it complemented everything that was in the plate with the lemon juice and hot sauce. It was fantastic.
So when you get that fresh hummus, there's nothing like it, right?
So I also tried the sabich, which it's more of an eggplant-centered dish. So they have the fried eggplant with the hard-boiled egg and same toppings and everything. The sabich was pretty good. I would definitely recommend it for anyone who's an eggplant lover, hard-boiled egg lover.
And what about you? You got through the falafel and...
Yeah, we also ordered the classic hummus plate. which when we first opened it and looked at it, I was like, oh no, what did we do? Because like it just looks like watery and messy and goopy. And when I was about to go for a bite, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this. But the second I did, I was like, okay, I changed my mind. Yeah. How are you worried about that?
Yeah, can you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. Taste-wise, it was great. It was just suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very worried before I took a bite, but then afterwards I was like, yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Because it's about the same ingredients as the falafel, but I think they put a lot more emphasis on the hummus, a lot more on like the spices they add in. Yeah, the flavor is much deeper than I would say the falafel flavors are. Yeah.
And what about desserts? Dessert.
Yeah, you know, I feel like this place is not really known for their desserts, more, you know, their falafel and their meats, but their Bavarian cream.
That's what they're known for.
So good. That's what they're known for. It was like the perfect layering of your thin little base of cream with the chocolate sauce on top. You have to have it cold. When I had it, it was so good. It tasted like an ice cream sundae.
It tastes almost exactly like whipped cream, but like the texture is a lot thicker. It's more like a cream cheese kind of texture. It has like more granularity to it in the bite, but the chocolate sauce and the whipped cream taste, of course, like always pairs well, and like it was a very good way to end the meal for sure. Yeah.
Did you have dessert?
No, I'm bummed out now that I didn't get the dessert. But the lady told me that someone had came in previously and bought the last one.
The last one.
The last one. And I'm looking over at that person and I'm like, okay, maybe can I just fight you for it, or
one bite?
can I just get just a little spoonful?
You can't tell me you were doing it for the show. One bite. I just need one bite.
Right. So definitely we'll go back and hopefully we can try that.
Yeah.
In terms of price,
It was very reasonable, is what I would say. Yeah, once you get out of San Francisco, prices go down for sure, is what I'd noticed. But everything was super fair, and like the portions were huge. You could just eat one of those things and be like satisfied for sure.
did you take any home?
I did. I took the falafels home.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they were excellent.
Yeah.
All right, this is your spot, Shirin. Wrap it up for us.
For amazing falafel and probably the best Mediterranean food you will ever had. And I'm not kidding when I say best. Definitely check out Falafel Stop.
All right, and Satya.
For falafel better than my mom's falafel, check out Falafel Stop.
Okay, and Danielle.
For the best falafels that I've ever had and the best hummus, check out the Falafel Stop.
If you would like to try Falafel Stop, it's located on Sunnyvale, Saratoga Road at Fremont in Sunnyvale. It's open for lunch and dinner every day, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $15. Post your favorite food shots on Instagram at #BayAreaBites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. Danielle has a long history of watching Check Please Bay Area with her mom and aunt. She's been a vegan for about 2 years and loves to share her passion for delicious vegan eats. Today, she's touting her spot, Nick's on Grand.
We turned vegan together, like, when was that, 5 years ago, something, 4 or 5 years ago?
I wasn't vegan or vegetarian at all when I met Kenny. I was full-on Filipina, pork-eating woman. I know that my fear was when turning vegan that I would miss out on a lot of these things that I used to eat when I was a kid, you know? I mean, I ate a lot of meat. It was a heavy meat culture. This is the jambalaya that we make in-house. And so I feel like I created dishes that I miss, and I'm just glad people like it.
The idea is that people can have things that they might miss from their non-vegan days, or show people that are scared of turning vegan because they will never be able to have these things again, that you can absolutely have every single thing that you used to have. And lots of times it tastes better, I think.
Right, and it's better for you.
Definitely better for you, better for the planet.
65% of our customers are non-vegan. They just come here because the food is good.
The vegan food, I believe, is the future.
Doing all right, man. See you, bro.
So when the governor decided to make that call,
We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what people were doing. I mean, we're thinking maybe, are people gonna show up? Are people gonna actually come? So we decided to shorten our hours and work it ourselves.
How are you?
the bright side of it is all the awesome people that keep supporting us.
Oh yeah,
And,
our regular customers. They come in like 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
just to support us, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it gives you hope too that like there are so many really good people, and we can figure this out by supporting one another and trying to be beautiful.
yeah.
Danielle, so you've been vegan for a couple of years. It's interesting because this restaurant really went vegan a couple of years ago, didn't it?
Right.
You know, it has a background as a very meat-heavy restaurant.
So I found this restaurant. I work in South San Francisco, so it's right around the corner from my job. So it was just easy, place. And my coworker said, "Hey, you don't eat meat. Let's go here, for some Filipino food." Okay, sure. But it blew my mind. I didn't have to ask whether things were plant-based or not because everything is in
100%
there.
100%. The whole menu.
My go-to dish is the lumpia. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was so crispy, and then just, all the flavors on the inside, and the substitute meat. I hate to call it that, but that's what it is. And also the lechon kawali, which is reminiscent of pork belly. I'm like, how did they get it to look and even mock the fattiness and the meat, and they're in layers. And oh my God, this looks like pork belly, but it's not. So
did you ever eat meat prior to being
I did.
vegan?
I did. So I do remember, what it tastes like, and it tastes, it's spot on the taste of the pork belly.
Did you have the lumpias as well?
I had the lumpia as well.
Okay,
I had the
tell me about
vegetarian
them.
one though. So I don't think they had the faux meat in there. And it's very similar to like a spring roll is what I would say in terms of flavor, but like they use a lot more mild ingredients in the interior and a lot more soft boiled instead of fried ingredients. So it was corn, it was peas, it was carrots, stuff like that, where the flavor of the exterior actually came out more as a result of it.
All right, what did you have to eat, Shirin?
So I ordered the lumpia, but they didn't have the lumpia, so I was really sad about that.
And you didn't reach over to somebody else's table and
And
say,
I
"I'm
was
getting
like,
the place."
the lumpia, yeah, I wish, but I ended up getting the crab cakes instead. I mean, it was very reminiscent of like fish and tartar sauce, and I went with a coworker who really, really enjoys seafood, and he could see how it was reminiscent of like, fish. But I think my favorite was the sisig. Was on the sizzling platter. Yeah, it wasn't like fake meat. It was just tofu and veggies, and I liked how simplistic it was. Like there was no fake meat involved.
Yeah.
It was just the tofu with the veggies, and it was sizzling, which was so cool. And we had that with the garlic rice. Amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
You all
I
agree
enjoyed it a lot,
this is
too.
a
It was
this
really
is a
good,
favorite
yeah.
for all of you?
Yeah.
Did you have that? You had that
I
as
did
well?
as well, yeah. This was the first thing I ordered on the menu as well because it said tofu, and I was like, oh yeah, perfect. Like I know I like tofu, and it was definitely like a good choice. The flavors were super sharp, super acidic, salty, and the soy sauce cut through like the dish very well.
But it was balanced.
It was balanced. It was very balanced, yeah. And the tofu definitely helped round out the flavor as well because it's more mild as a result, yeah.
And I always like the presentation. When you go with someone that's never been and it comes to your place sizzling and the smoke's everywhere and they're like, oh God, what is this? So, and then it doesn't taste like tofu. Some people think tofu tastes like cardboard. No, this tastes
Doesn't really
way
taste
different.
like much.
You have to season it with stuff.
Of all the
You
other
have to
things
pair
in
it with
Right.
things to make it taste good.
Right.
So
That's fair,
so no, it was paired correctly with the the correct amount of spices and the vegetables. So I really enjoyed that dish.
Yeah. It was very soy saucy, very lemony.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It was good, yeah.
Yes.
Enjoy that.
Sure.
So that was a star dish. Anything else?
Yeah, so because I really like Nick's on Grand, I also ordered the ube pancakes. So it was a weekend special, and so we had the ube pancakes, and ube's like a sweet potato, and it's purple. It's a really pretty color, and then we had the fake bacon with it. I've had bacon. I'm not a fan of bacon, but I'm a fan of this bacon. This bacon was really, really good. And when you pour the maple syrup on the ube pancakes, you taste the sweet potato. Sometimes when you eat pancakes, they're just so doughy and thick, and you don't like them. But this was like perfect with that bacon. I definitely would share it because it is a little on the heavier side. But yeah, very, very good dish.
So what about value?
Value, I think it was fair. Yeah, it was a little on the higher price, I feel like, for like a typical dinner, I feel like.
Yeah, but you said the service was good.
The service was really good, yeah. So I would definitely I don't mind the price is what I would say, but it's just like a little bit on the higher end is what I would say.
Do you agree on that? Or
Yeah, and I feel like vegan food generally is pretty expensive.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's a little on the higher price. So I mean, for this, I would say it's great food.
Yeah.
So I would pay for this for
That's
sure.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your spot, Danielle. Wrap it up for us.
So if you're looking for a traditional 100% plant-based Filipino food, Nick's your place.
And Satya?
For a unique experience that you probably won't get anywhere else, I'd recommend Nick's on Grand.
Okay, and Shirin?
Vegan or not vegan, you have to check this place out and get the ube pancakes.
If you'd like to try Nick's on Grand, it's located on Grand Avenue at Airport Boulevard in South San Francisco. It's open for lunch and dinner every day with brunch on the weekends, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $25. I want to thank my guests on this week's show, Satya Patel, who invited us to his funky Indian fast food spot in San Francisco, Curry Up Now. Shirin Bansal, who shared her Mediterranean-influenced Israeli eatery in Sunnyvale, Falafel Stop. And Danielle Pace, who brought us to her favorite place for plant-based Filipino eats in South San Francisco, Nick's on Grand. Join us next time when 3 more guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
Cheers to you guys. So you had fun? We really want to hear about your experiences at any of the restaurants we've been talking about. So keep in touch with us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And don't forget that you can watch any of the shows on our website at kqed.org/checkplease. It's where you'll find links to the restaurants and my notes on the wines we're drinking today. Cheers!
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by the following sponsors whom we gratefully acknowledge for their steadfast support during these uncertain times.
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made specially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Check Please Bay Area.
It's the transplant procedure that didn't just save one life. It saved 6. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com. Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
At Redwood Credit Union, we help people achieve their financial goals together, offering customized full-service personal and business banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Redwood Credit Union.